Could Xabi Alonso be the long-term successor to Jurgen Klopp at Anfield? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. If the speculation is to be believed, if the reports that are snowballing are to be taken as legitimate, then it possibly could be that Xabi Alonso may become the long-term future successor to Jurgen Klopp at Anfield after, of course, the German announced that he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the current campaign. What we know about the Jurgen Klopp situation is that he will be leaving the club at the end of the season. The big question, therefore, is who will be his long-term replacement. And despite names being mentioned out there, such as the likes of your Julian Nagelsmann's, your Ange Postecoglou's, your Roberto De Zerbi's, and so on and so forth, one name has been heavily linked. And if reports are to be believed, then Liverpool have begun to put the wheels in motion to make that man, that one name, become their manager at the end of the season. And that man's name, I'm talking about Xabi Alonso, who is winning over a lot of people right now for the incredible work that he is doing at Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen are still unbeaten all season in all competitions. The only team in Europe's top 5 divisions to be unbeaten so far this campaign. And Alonso is doing an incredible job with Leverkusen right now. So much so that he is being linked with a ton of opportunities beyond this season. Liverpool just being one of them. He's also been mentioned as being linked with the likes of Chelsea and other clubs that may be looking to appoint new managers going forward. But it seems that Liverpool may be trying to work things out early, maybe trying to strike while the iron is hot, and maybe trying to obviously lure him to Anfield, given of course that they already have the pull of Alonso being a former player of the Reds, particularly during that incredible 2005 Champions League triumph in which Alonso was a big part of that Liverpool squad. So he obviously has a very big affiliation with the club right off the bat. We're going to be talking about the potential of Alonso joining Liverpool. We're going to be talking about him as a manager. We're going to be talking about him and how the club may coexist if this is to be an avenue that Liverpool decide to pursue. We'll also be talking about a little bit of other options as well. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you, please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always very greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings. Not just on, of course, who you think Liverpool's new manager may be, but Xabi Alonso himself. What do you see of this very young but seemingly very talented manager that is currently at Bayer Leverkusen and could be on the verge of winning Leverkusen their first Bundesliga title? So let me know all of your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on that down below in the comment section. I do encourage you to get involved down there. But before we go, but without further ado, should I say, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Xabi Alonso, let's talk Liverpool, let's talk this Liverpool managerial situation. We are, of course, a few weeks removed from that incredible bombshell that was dropped by Jurgen Klopp in the sense that he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. It completely came out of left field. It completely came out of the blue. No one was expecting it, and it really shook the Premier League, the footballing world, and it obviously then opened up the question of who Liverpool's long-term successor for their most successful manager in the Premier League era would be. And, of course, a lot of names were thrown out there, like I say. Ange Postecoglou, even though he's had a good start at Spurs, I still need to see more from him. I still think there needs to be more from him on a long-term basis. Roberto De Zerbi's name was mentioned. He would be my personal choice. I love the way that he plays his football. I love what he's done at Brighton. I love how he's evolved Brighton even beyond the Graham Potter era. That happened with the Seagulls, and I like the way that he's adapted this season with having European football and obviously having to deal with a number of injuries himself. I like what De Zerbi would bring to the table, and that's why he would be my personal choice. Julian Nagelsmann, if this was a couple of years ago, I probably would have said that I would have preferred Julian Nagelsmann, but obviously after his spell at PSG, I'm sort of on the fence a little bit more and not so sure about that particular appointment, even though I do like his brand of football. I do like him as a personality and everything. But Xabi Alonso's name has obviously been one that has stuck around a lot. And if reports, like I say, are to be believed within the past few days, it seems that Liverpool have made initial contact and are putting the wheels in motion to maybe approach Alonso to be their new manager. And I'm not against this in any stretch of the imagination. Like I say, my personal preference would be De Zerbi, but I am not against Alonso in the slightest. I think either one of those two managers will be a good fit for Liverpool in terms of them being the person that they are, the personality that they will bring, and obviously the style of play that they play and the way that they manage. I think both would be great for the club and a great fit and a great successor to Jurgen Klopp. Would it be as successful as Jurgen Klopp? Only time will tell on that one. You cannot really tell because it's not like we're going for established managers that are serial winners. We're not going for your Pep Guardiolas and your Carlo Ancelottis. They are unobtainable. We're going to have to go for someone that's got a long-term project in mind. Someone that can obviously build something like what Klopp did. And Klopp's already laid the foundations for the next kind of generation of Liverpool talent. We just need someone to obviously build upon those foundations, and you know, Alonso and De Zerbi could definitely fit that bill. So we're not going for serial winners. We're not going for your Jose Mourinho's, your old school dinosaur kind of managers. We're not going for your Pep Guardiolas that are unobtainable and your Carlo Ancelottis that are serial winners and would obviously win something at the club, but may not be around for maybe the longer term. We're going for someone who is on the up and coming, someone that maybe is looking to make a leap from the club that they're at to a bigger club in Liverpool, with all due respect to the clubs that they're currently at, and someone that can obviously build something worthwhile for the long term. And you know, I'm happy and excited to obviously give my time and patience for that post the Jurgen Klopp era. Alonso's name has been mentioned, and like I say, Liverpool seem to be putting the wheels in motion to make that a thing. And obviously, there is reports that it could happen at the end of the season because Alonso has a clause in his contract where it says that the clubs that he's played for as a player, if they were to come in for him, he would be allowed to speak to them. I think that seems to be the common consensus from a lot of reports that I've been reading and seeing. There's also talk that with obviously how well he's done at Leverkusen this past year and a half, I think, something along them lines. He's obviously built up quite the reputation already, and he was already building up quite a reputation even before that, taking on the job at Real Sociedad and their younger squad. So he's already built up quite a reputation in terms of that aspect and working with young players, and now he's taking it to a more senior level with Bayer Leverkusen. And Leverkusen are having an unbelievable season. They are sat top of the Bundesliga. They are absolutely incredible right now. They are unbeaten. They are invincible so far this campaign in all competitions. They're still fighting it out on all fronts, and they very well could spoil the party for Bayern Munich, who have obviously dominated German football for I would say, what is it, the past 12 to 13 years, something along those lines. They've absolutely dominated German football for that amount of time, and yet what we could be seeing here is an incredible, miraculous triumph by Leverkusen, in which not a lot of people gave them a lot of credit. I guarantee you that if at the beginning of the season you were to say who were the three best teams in Germany, a lot of people probably would have said Bayern Munich, of course, Dortmund, and then probably Leipzig. Leverkusen probably wouldn't have entered that conversation, but Alonso has transformed Leverkusen so far this season, and he very well could spoil the party for Bayern Munich should they hold their nerve going into the business stage, the important stage of the season, where you are either title made or you're title bottlers. And obviously Leverkusen are in a very good position to obviously win that trophy, spoil the party for Bayern Munich, and also, just as a little bit of a bonus to English fans for a little bit of banter, spoil the party for Harry Kane as well, who obviously left Tottenham to go to Bayern Munich in order and in search to win a trophy. And even though it seemed like an obvious trophy to go on and win, he very well might not be able to within his first season, at least, of joining Bayern Munich, which would be a little bit funny in itself. But I digress on that point. The main point here is about Liverpool, and the main point is about Xabi Alonso. Alonso can offer a lot to Liverpool. From what we've seen of him, and from what we've from what we've seen, what we've heard, what we've researched, and everything else in between, from his time in Germany and from obviously his early years in being a manager, he is very fluid. He's very modern. He's very much of the impression that he will have an outline for how he wants to set up, how he wants to play his football, but he is able to adapt, and he's wanting his players to adapt, and he's wanting to, obviously, in-game management-wise, change things when it matters most. And we've seen it time and time again in the Bundesliga. If you've been watching, you'll know that, obviously, he's been able to do that so often. He will go from a back three to a back four to a back five to whatever it may be. He will adapt his team to the situation that he sees and perceives on the pitch. And that's why Leverkusen have been so successful this season. His way of adapting has been something that's fresh, something that's obviously modern, and something that is obviously becoming more and more frequent in today's game. As far as his overall play goes, he's exciting to watch. They score plenty of goals, do Leverkusen, this season, and they score them from all different areas. The main two contributors to their attacking approach are their wing-backs, and that would suit Liverpool perfectly to the ground, particularly when you think of what the full-backs and wing-back situation already is at Liverpool in terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, both on either side of the wing. And even beyond that point, Kostas Tsimikas, how long he'll be at the club, only time will tell, but in an attacking approach, he hasn't got a bad left foot on him either. And when you look at the understudy to Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Bradley, I know that obviously it's only recent that he has entered the Liverpool senior team, but he's already made a strong impression right off the bat. And if his talent can obviously be moulded and obviously enhanced even further, there is no telling the kind of limits that he could reach himself. So the wing-back situation for Liverpool is looking very promising. There are little bits and pieces that obviously Alonso can come in and he can look over the youth sides and see if there's anyone there that he obviously can fit in within his system. And obviously he can look into the transfer market to see if he can sprinkle that little bit of stardust here and there that may obviously enhance Liverpool going forward. Maybe he can go back to his Leverkusen roots if he wants to obviously come into Liverpool, and maybe try and persuade a couple of those Leverkusen players, because they do have a few gems in that German team, to obviously maybe join him at Liverpool, and that could be very interesting to watch, and obviously interesting to obviously see if we can use to our advantage a little bit. But I'm excited by Alonso and by everything that Alonso's done since being at Leverkusen, and I feel like I say he would be a very good fit, not just in terms of the way that he's playing, in terms of his adaptability and his flexibility, and obviously the way that they play in a sort of a high tempo, intense, exciting style of play, which is full of goals and full of entertainment value. That all intrigues me and that all excites me. But the one issue I do have with Alonso, and it's the one reason why I pick De Zerbi over Alonso, and it's only just, by the way, is the fact that he's not entirely proven. Now, De Zerbi isn't either, and it goes back to what I said earlier on. We're not picking managers that are proven in terms of winning trophies and being serial winners. No manager that's being linked with the Liverpool job is a proven winner. They're not proven winners. They're young managers with an exciting philosophy of football, with an intriguing philosophy of football, and someone that can build for years to come and build something that is going to withstand a long test of time. Alonso fits that mold. De Zerbi fits that mold. Whoever, Nagelsmann will probably fit that kind of criteria as well. But for me, at least De Zerbi has history. At least he has a proven nature in the Premier League. Now that doesn't count to everything. We've seen some managers take to the Premier League right off the bat. Look at Ange Postecoglou and the job he's doing at Tottenham, for example. Look at what Erik ten Hag did last season at Manchester United for the first campaign. There are probably other examples of managers like that as well. I'm not saying Alonso can't do that. I'm not saying Alonso won't do that. I'm excited for Alonso if he was to come in. I wouldn't have too much of an issue with it if he was. My preference would just be De Zerbi because I've seen him for a longer period of time. Alonso, for me, I wouldn't want us to rush into anything unless we were 100% certain that this guy was the right man for the job. I know that he's being linked with a lot of other jobs, and I know that he is the current flavour of the month, so to speak. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that about Alonso. But I don't want us to be like, well, he did play for Liverpool. He's got that Liverpool connection. He's doing very well right now. Let's get him before anybody else can without looking at maybe the bigger picture. Like I say, I'd see it working out to an extent. My personal preference would be De Zerbi, just seeing how he has a bit more longevity to his game than what Alonso has right now. Maybe we will strike while the iron is hot, and it could backfire. It could be the best decision we've made since signing Jurgen Klopp. So there are one or two issues that I have with Alonso in terms of the longevity aspect of his managerial reign so far, and whether or not this is just maybe a flash in the pan sort of season. But at the same time, I like what he offers. I like the basis of what he's all about, what he represents, how he wants his side to play and set up, and obviously his modern day style of play and management and in-game management and everything. And I feel like he really could build something that would be exciting and intriguing for the long term of Liverpool Football Club going forward. And it's something that I'm very interested and excited about. Like I say, my personal preference is De Zerbi, but if it was to be Alonso that comes in, I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not gonna be frustrated. I'll actually be excited, and I will 100% support that decision. I would love it for Alonso to join us one day. Like I say, the longevity aspect makes me question whether it should be now or not. But as far as what he is as a manager right now, it's very promising. It's very promising and it's very exciting. And I, for one, would be intrigued to have Xabi Alonso succeed Jurgen Klopp at the end of the season for everything that I have seen him do so far during his Leverkusen campaign. And those are obviously the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this whole Liverpool managerial search for the successor to one Jurgen Klopp? Should it be Xabi Alonso or should it be someone else? Do you have reservations over Alonso? Do you think it should be Alonso? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think and feel and everything else in between on this particular topic, because I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all again very soon.